Ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, guess who's back? Don Lawrence in the house, in the flesh. And our special guest tonight, working diligently behind us, Mark Costello. He's making it happen back there.
Say hi, Mark.
Hi.
There we go. The legend continues. All right. So, first and always, look at that. See, I got to welcome back Don. See?
Thank you.
So, before we start anything else, you know how we do this. Don always says, how's everybody doing and stuff like that.
But do you say it now?
I don't say it at all. No, I know how everybody's doing. Everybody's doing okay. So, first and foremost, guys, where are you tuning in from? Are you in the wonderful west side of the state like Mike McLaughlin is right now?
Steve, how you doing, bud?
Are you down in Monroe? Are you up in Oscoda, Michigan? Where are you? How about some in Iron Mountain? You ever Iron Mountain?
I've been there before.
Yeah, I don't know if we got any people in Iron Mountain, so we'll see.
Hi, Pat.
There's Pat and East. I'm telling you, William Street is definitely in the house today, boys. William Street is definitely in the house. So,
have you ever been to UP?
Yes, I have.
Have you been to Iron Mountain?
Never Iron Mountain. Never been that far.
Watching
from there. So we got watching from Monroe. I'll give you a couple of guesses who that is.
It's got to be the Wolkowitzes.
Absolutely. My good friend Tracy Schultz. Faster
Horses.
What do we go back?
This weekend?
What did I say? Faster Horses? Wait, hold on.
Faster Horses.
I don't know while we get ready for Faster Horses. There you go. That's a celebrity event right there. Okay. My good friend Tracy, Dogbone Heights, Hood Rat in the house. I love it. I love it. He's been missing a couple weeks. He's been busy as all get out. So, guys, where are you tuning in from? Where are you tuning in from? Let us know. Let us know. I'm just glad Don's not tuning in from Allen Park. He's tuning in from Dearborn, Michigan today. That's a good thing. We have some interesting news we'll share with you in a minute. But where are you tuning in from, ladies and gentlemen? Where? All right. So, going to share the big news?
Yeah.
All right. So, Don and I were at an event today.
A big meeting.
A big meeting today. Okay. We both, that we both support Memory's mission.
And you have too.
Absolutely.
All of you have supported it too.
Huge. So now we're going to take it a step further this year. Okay. We're going to take it. Great to see you, the Don.
You too, Tracy. Nice seeing you.
So we're going to take it a step further. We met with Southland Mall today. So December to remember.
Well, Southland Center.
Southland Center. Sorry, I'll change that up. So Southland Center. We're going to be broadcasting from Southland Center. December the 7th. There may be some celebrity athletes in the house. There may be all kinds of crazy, exciting, interesting stuff. So we had our initial meeting today. Don, what'd you think?
It was awesome. I didn't expect all the creativity and all the energy that people had. They were bringing to the table and talking about December here in July. It's Christmas in July. Actually, it's going to be Christmas in December. And this had come out last year that this was a possibility.
Yep.
And I wasn't sure if it would ever happen, if it could happen, because Southland Center, the mall, it's a big deal.
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
a big deal here. But I always said to myself, and I told you this, that if that happens, I will be there, and I'm going to be there because I'm really excited about the general manager there. She was so enthusiastic about it. Sammy, the property manager, he manages the property there, or the I don't know what he does, but anyways,
I don't know. It's just very important. Yeah, we don't know what he does.
Very open to suggestions, and they're really excited about doing something for the community. And they do a lot of other things for the community, which I didn't really even know. And I think being a part of something like that is going to be pretty cool.
Yeah. So I'll tell you this, Don, I'll say it this way. So it's going to explode, right? It's going to be way bigger than it was last year. It was awesome last year here in the office, but it's going to be way bigger than that. We're going to be, I think, and this might be letting the cat out of the bag, we'll be right in front of Macy's. So it's going to be a big event. December the 7th at Southland Center, not Southland Mall. Right?
Southland Center.
Yeah, so we got lots of big stuff going on there.
We're going to be inside the building, not out in the parking lot in some far remote corner. We're actually be inside of it.
I should come out from the rafters. That'd be awesome. Something like that. Come flying in like Howard Stern into one year, right? Yeah. All right, so let's give a couple of hellos to some folks. All right, so start off with my good friend Steve Kreitz. Young man, good to see you. Good to see you. Chris Bergeron wants to give you a big welcome home, right? A big welcome home for her. Tracy, we talked to Shelly Gambino in the house, one of our biggest fans. Hey, girl. Guys, it's so good to have Don sitting next to me today. It definitely is. And like I said, the meeting was interesting and exciting.
Yeah, I didn't know anything about it until yesterday and said, yeah, sure, I'll be there, and wondering what would happen. And
Gonna be pretty cool.
Blew my mind.
So let's get down to some real estate type stuff. Curious realtor, do you have a fence in your yard? Do you have a fence or do you not have a fence in your yard? Because we're going to be talking about drawing the line today. So in the chat, let us know, do you have a fence in your yard or not? In the chat, what do you have? Do you have a fence or do you not? Get a fence?
Yep.
Subdivision, right?
Yep.
Yeah. I went in a subdivision when Dearborn, when I lived there. I have like a decorative fence kind of for a part of a deck, but I don't have a fence around the front of the house or like the front from the back of the
You
house.
mean the back property?
Yep.
Backyard, yeah.
So let's see what we got. Trey says lots of it. Steve Kreitz says yep. Patney says yep. Facebook user says yes. Do you have a fence in your yard? Do you have a fence in your yard? Because we're definitely going to get to some of that stuff in a minute here. So do you have a fence in your yard is a question on the table. Now, would you say most folks, if you had a guess, if you had to throw a percentage at it, what would you say?
That they want one or
They have one.
Well, I think in the cities, I would say 85% of them.
Yeah.
90% probably. To find it in a city is rare. Or to find it without a fence in a city is rare.
But you know what, though? Zach Tag, there you go. So I don't know, though, because there's some areas they don't have these kind of, and again, to your point, I walk up and go, no fence.
Yeah. Yeah.
Biggest things like people talk about fence or privacy fence, right? They're thinking that automatically. They're thinking that privacy fence or fence automatically.
Speaking of privacy fence, I'm not a fan of privacy fences because it doesn't allow you to talk to your neighbor. You got what's going on in your world, and people are already
closed off as it is.
Yeah, I think closing themselves off. Why do that? So my neighbor, I don't think I've ever told you this, but my neighbor has a son that is autistic.
Okay.
And he became self-conscious of when we were out in the backyard. He became self-conscious when he was in the backyard to go swimming. So he wanted to do it. One summer he didn't do it very much, and my neighbor asked about putting up a privacy fence. I never wanted one, never agreed to it, never wanted to do it. But in this case, how can you not do that?
Yeah.
We had to. And my neighbor was really gracious about, she suggested that the top part of it would have a little lattice so you can still talk to each other and see each other, but he would have his privacy to go swimming. So we did it, and it turned out for the best. He's doing what he's comfortable, he feels himself, and I have a little more privacy that I didn't have before and didn't realize. It's kind of cool.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, that's a nice story. That is a very nice story he just told you. I'm going to tell you not a nice story. My neighbor next to me, where I live, in my cul-de-sac, there's no fences. Nowhere. There's no fences anywhere. Mm-hmm. There's a little bit of fence I have in the backyard to kind of cover for a deck or a pool at one time, maybe something like that. Mm-hmm. So neighbor next door comes up to me, moves in, and says, I'd like to put a fence up. Okay. So puts the most humongous, god-awful wood fence that covers up the whole freaking back and puts it all the way into our woods, too. Mm-hmm. So you know what it means? It means no deer.
Mm-hmm. Oh, really?
Yeah. Well, they come around less because the kid got to go around the freaking. Because he buried all. I mean, and again, it's one of those things like
that was a big thing for you too.
So chaps my ass, Don. Yeah. Absolutely chaps my ass. So good fence story, bad fence story.
Yeah.
So
going to that, you have to have a survey usually, and I had a survey. We had a survey for our house when we bought it. In those days, they did surveys, and we talked about this earlier. My sister-in-law and brother-in-law live in Dearborn, and they had to have a survey. Dearborn they had a fence company that did ours, came out, gave them wouldn't even go out and give them an estimate. Where you live in Dearborn, they won't even deal with the city of Dearborn.
Why?
Because they have so much difficulty with property lines and putting a fence in it. They don't even want to deal with it.
Really?
So, yes. So that's one of the reasons why we're talking about this today is surveys are very important for fence.
Yeah, and we'll get there, guys. We'll get to that point. We're going to deep dive into that. But Mike McLaughlin is on the west side of the state, so we're going to kind of give you a state of the market where we're at today. Okay, we're going to give you kind of a state of the market where we're at today. So I'm going to throw a lot of stuff. We're going to throw a lot of little things at you, some numbers and other things. But let me see what I got here. Let me find what I'm looking for here. All right. Hang on one second. Bear with us, guys. Bear with us.
It's close.
It is. Maybe not. Maybe it's not with us now. So anyway, kind of Don, tell them what are you seeing out there? Let me ask that question.
So interest rates, they really haven't changed a whole lot in the last week or so. Maybe have they trended down a little bit? Have you?
Yeah,
heard
last
that?
3 weeks.
A little bit. So, which is a good thing. But what do you think market wise?
Well, so here's what I think
What do you
people were
say?
spoiled for a long time, getting 2.5%, 3.5%. Right? They were spoiled with that. So now FHA, I want to say, is 4.85, somewhere around that, and conventional is about 5, some of them at 5.515 or something like that, somewhere in that range. So high fours, low fives. That's okay. That's normal.
4%
That's normal.
for an FHA is still very good.
Yeah, that's normal world. That's normal world. Yeah.
So you're seeing price reductions and
Yeah, I'm definitely seeing that. So I think, and I talked about this the last few weeks, Donna, and you can verify this for me too. It's going to make a more fair playing ground for buyer sellers. It's going to make more fair playing ground.
yeah, I agree.
Like you're going to get more chances to get yourself accepted because you're not fighting 15 people.
I agree. And I think we're seeing more price reductions. So there's something going on out there. I mean, still houses, if it's in good shape and priced right, it has to be priced right.
Yeah.
I think that we're seeing that part of where the sellers can pretty much dictate almost all terms. Not so much now.
Right. That's the thing. I mean, so it's going to help a lot of young kids, right?
Mhm.
A lot of people that are buying, things like that. It's going to help that kind of stuff. So
A lot of millennials, younger ones that want to finally get out of their parents' house. It looks like there's hope down the road.
yeah, absolutely. So that's kind of where that's at. And I mean, it's. I keep telling people the same thing. You're going to do the most for your house right now that you can. The next few years you're going to get most right now, but also understand that you can't be ridiculous. You can't.
Mm-hmm.
You can't be ridiculous on that. So that's that. Now, before we get to our big deep dive down, we do a new segment called "What You Want," and the audience tells us what they want.
I want a pizza.
So tell us, folks in the audience, of these two options, which one do you want? Do you want fence or no fence? Not what do you have, but what do you want? What do you want? Do you want fence or no fence? Put it in the chat, please. Fence or no fence?
So even though I told that story, the next house I buy, I don't want a fence.
Yeah. It's cool. It's cool that I have a fence. It really is. It's cool. I like it.
And this is my reason why is because in my area, there's people have, everybody got dogs during the COVID and stuff, and they leave them out barking. And I think when you don't have a fence, you can't let your dog out there and bark all day long.
Yeah.
So that's one of the reasons why I'd rather not have a fence. And plus, I'd like to have a little one more property.
So Steve Kreitz is going yes on the yes. I don't know what that means. Fence or going fence or no fence. So there's Steve's going fence. Pat Neese going fence. Shelly goes, no, I like no fence, but these little ankle biters. So she has little dogs, right? So definitely a fence there, right? Fence or no fence, guys? What do you want? What you want? Fence or no fence? Which one do you want? Fence or no fence? Which one would you like?
What do you like?
I like no fence.
Yeah,
I like no fence. I like no fence because I like nature more than I ever did before.
Yes.
No fence, shotgun. No fence, shotgun. That's Tracy. That's not like one you would come up with.
What does that mean?
He said, carry a shotgun out there with you.
Oh.
Somebody goes, you're probably shoot their ass.
There you go. All right. That's what we're
Privacy fence. Gotcha. So fence or no fence? What you want? Privacy fence or no fence? I'll give you about 10 more seconds to answer. Fence or no fence? What do you think, ladies and gentlemen? Fence or no fence? It's always interesting when you think about stuff like that, property lines and what's mine, what's yours, stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So, all right, number 2.
Well, the old saying is, what do they say about the fence?
Good fence makes a good neighbor.
Yeah, good fence makes a good neighbor. Yeah.
Good fences make a good neighbor.
I don't
So,
know about that.
what you want, number 2? Trees in the yard versus open space. I tell you what, that was Eric Sloan. The legend of Eric Sloan.
Eric.
There he is. So, trees in the yard versus open space. Trees in the yard versus open space. I am more and more open space person.
Yeah.
I really am. I cut down about 3 or 4 trees in the yard so far. I like the woods as a boundary line, like as a back boundary line or something like that. But I don't like trees in the yard.
Yeah.
I mean, I just feel like the leaves everywhere and I don't know. It's just open space. Something's drawing me more and more to open space. So for you guys, what do you think? Trees in the yard, trees or open space? Which one did you like?
That's a hard one because I like them both, but I think I would like to have open space because that means there's
Pat says trees. Steve says palm trees like Eric. Palm trees like Eric Sloan, huh? So, guys, the what
that-
you want is trees or open space. Trees or open space. Which would you like?
So Eric was a no fence shotgun guy.
Yes, he was. Trees. You can't have both. Trees or open space. Which would you like? Trees or open space? I'm talking about trees in the middle of your open space, guys. Trees or open space. Combo of small trees and open space. Okay. All right. Trees or open space. I give you about 10 more seconds to answer. Trees or open space. Love the palm trees. I'm sure you do, man. I'm sure you do. We still haven't done a show from there yet, so I don't want to hear about the palm trees. Last one. This is when we get to our topic a little bit. Have you had a survey or have you not ever had a survey on your property? Try that one. Have you had a survey or have you not had a survey on your property? Which one would you like? Which one do you think? Have you had a survey or not had a survey on your property?
Did you have one on the house, your other old
Your
house?
one?
Yeah.
No, I did not. I didn't get one. I don't remember.
So tell me that story I told you about.
What's that?
You didn't know about that.
What?
Surveys. You used to get a survey.
Right. So
Right. Should we go over that?
yeah, absolutely. So tell them as we're talking.
So, I don't remember how long ago it was, but when you bought a house and you got a mortgage, even when you got a mortgage, the mortgage company would always require a survey, and they would send a surveying company out there, and the buyer had to pay for it. It's part of the mortgage cost, and they wouldn't do a stake survey, but they would tell you your property lines and how your house is situated on the lot, how your garage is situated on the lot, how the fence is situated on the property lines, if they are or aren't. And you would find out some of the garages might be a foot off on the neighbors. And so it's a really nice thing to have, especially when you went to the city to put a privacy fence in or put some building in. And now they don't do that. They haven't done that in 10 plus years. And if you want to do that, you have to pay for it. And in those days, it cost $75. I think it might have went up a little bit.
I can tell you right now it did. So on a gross deal, it cost me, I think, $450 or $500.
And was that stake survey?
Yeah, we staked it up and everything.
So yeah. So and it's a platted. Yours is a platted.
Right.
Go to a meets and bounds, which we'll get into those two down the road in a little bit, but that would be even more expensive.
So yeah, so I did it because I want to know how far into the woods I had. Right, that's what I did it for, and then eventually it screwed me over because a guy built the damn fence.
Yeah.
Pissed me off more than anything else. Oh yeah,
So he found out where his property line
Yes, he
was.
did. He sure
knew.
did. He built it. Yeah, I'm like, son of a gun. So survey or no survey, guys? Survey or no survey? Have you had a survey on your house? Oh no, I got a survey company. I got one that did it. I called them one day, it came the next day. I got a good survey for you. So let me know if you need it.
That's a good point, though. Who?
Look it up. Hang on. Get on my phone.
Because most survey companies are really, really booked. It's hard to find surveyors to get out there in a pretty reasonable amount of time.
Paul something.
Yeah.
I can't remember. Yeah, he came out and did it right. I mean, he was quick. He came out the next day.
Yeah,
So,
that's incredible.
Yeah, absolutely. So
I
I got a good
come
one.
across him.
Huh? I was looking. I asked a bunch of people in the area.
Huh.
Yeah,
Wow, that's incredible.
8 weeks, brother. 8 weeks.
Yeah.
Holy smokes. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah. I lucked out, I guess. So.
I think so.
All right. So let's get into it, Don. A little deep dive. You ready for this?
I'm
Draw the line. So tell me why you should have a survey. Why?
Well, so we had already discussed one of the things. You want to put up a fence or a privacy fence, you got to have a survey. You want to know
shed.
Same thing. It depends if it's right in the center of the yard, but if you're putting it on one of the outside corners, nobody puts a shed in the center of the backyard.
Right.
So they want to put it off in a corner somewhere. You want to make sure you're building that on your property, not on the neighbor's property. So it's good. It's helpful to have that.
So what else?
That garage.
Yeah, build a garage. I tell you what, the more that I go
No.
into Oakland County or Macomb, the more I find houses. Like I was in Royal Oak Township yesterday. Every house I went to didn't have a garage. Every one. I'm like, didn't have a garage?
Is that
They're like, it's there in subdivisions. I'm like, didn't build a garage?
Yeah.
What the heck?
Yeah.
So
in number 3 is, you want to come on over here? Is we were talking about this, and Mel, what she came up with, she had an experience. She knows her parents. So, but enhancing your yard, and she had a great story about a survey.
listen to this.
Yeah.
Well, it was just my parents sold their house up north, and I hate being on camera.
That's okay. You're
You'll
doing
do
fine.
fine.
So-
You'll do fine.
Yeah, so anyway, they bought the house, they got a survey afterwards and
They
discovered
got
that
the survey after they bought the
after
house.
they bought it, and then
Important.
discovered that the neighbor's trees that they thought were theirs were actually hers. And they had asked her to, if she wanted to cut them down. And she said no. So
Absolutely
he's
not.
clearing all the property. He's clearing all the trees. And so he did a survey and,
So they couldn't clear the property off how they wanted to, or they
Right.
envisioned it, right?
right.
So he bought the property, didn't do the survey before to know where their property lines are, and got the survey after they closed on home and own it. And now they wanted these trees that they were hoping to be able to take down. They can't take them down because the neighbor will not allow it because it's on her property.
Yeah, I'm telling you, that's why
So
I started
it's
looking,
hugely
because
important.
there's a tree line in my back, the very back of the property in my house. And all of a sudden, this one corner, my far left corner, the trees kept it like you can take down, take it. I'm like, what the hell? I don't want to see you. So I bought this back here. So survey goes in and go, nope, it was his stuff, so he could do it.
Yeah.
So it definitely, I looked like an idiot because it definitely was on his side of the line. So but I was pissing me off.
Yeah.
So funny how territorial you get. Those are my damn trees. That's bullshit. Or what the hell you put that fence up for? Like people get so territorial about it, right? Like the guy
Kind of
building
like you are.
well, like the guy building the fence. I shouldn't be mad. It's his property,
Right.
but I got to turn and look at it all the damn
Right.
time.
Right.
So that's bullshit.
You need to like enhance your backyard to where you don't see the fence.
Right.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Listen, we get the
Exactly.
pool put in. I'm like,
Well,
you ain't
do
coming
the
back here,
pool,
sucker.
but-
I'm gonna dive in and watch
Yeah.
me.
Well, you do the pool or you put in your own trees that
Yeah,
grow up over the fence.
yeah.
Or you do what Eric Sloan does. You live out in way the heck out there, and you have a bunch of property. You don't see anybody.
My
That's-
dad had they
Until
had
now.
spray paint on the trees
Really?
because they had like a lot on the side of them
Yep.
and they didn't have a fence or anything, so they just spray painted the trees that were on the property line.
Don't go any further.
Yeah.
You cross
it's
this line, you
funny
get
though.
shot.
Because it's funny when they were like cleaning the area, like the trees, like the debris and everything like that,
Yeah.
raking leaves. It was like a nice line. There was like everything else was clear here, and over there was just
Oh, yeah.
leaves and
Oh, yeah.
acorns and all kinds of stuff.
So Don, let's talk about what you do
Thanks, Mel.
to start finding. I appreciate you the best. So what do you do to figure out your property lines?
Well, first of all, you need your legal description, and sometimes you can just get it from your tax bill or your deed or your title insurance policy if you go back and look at that. Or you can go to your city's assessors. You can go online. Typically, the city assessor has where you play one on their website where you can put in the address and it'll show up your legal description. And sometimes it'll have a map and show you the plot map. If you're in the subdivision, would be a plot map.
Yep.
Or you can look up your address on MLS. It shows
We
it
can,
there.
but they can't.
They can't. We're talking about what they can do.
Oh,
What
Yeah,
they
yeah,
can
yeah,
do.
yeah.
So that's a what we call platted.
Yep.
Platted. That's what we call platted, where it's a subdivision and they broke what's called meets and bounds, which is the old description where it's a huge amount of property where
Yeah.
you start off at one point, go to another point by so many feet, so many degrees, and all that sort of stuff. So they simplified it on subdivisions where you have a subdivision name and a lot number, and you have a property ID after that. So
Right. So that's one place. Some municipalities are going to have surveys. Some,
some.
call
not
your real
all.
estate agent.
Huh?
Call your real estate.
Right, but some of them are going to have some of them are going to have. It depends on the municipality, right? Depends on where it is. I mean, I know Don. As long as I know, I've never seen a survey at like part of a closing package.
Yeah,
I've
so
never
they don't do them anymore.
Right.
Well, that's the buyer. What's that?
There's a few that are in there.
Yeah, sometimes the buyer has to pay for it, but Steve has a good point there. Sometimes you can ask the previous owner if they have one,
Yep.
so they can give that to you.
That's not a bad one. It's not bad. You know what else you can find every once in a while? Not all the time, but I find especially your larger pieces of land and stuff like that, your large pieces of property, especially out Oakland County and stuff like that, is stakes will still be sitting out there. I see stakes a lot more than I thought I ever would.
Yeah. You have to really look for them.
Yeah, you do. You definitely got to look for it.
Have a metal
Green
detector.
metal,
Huh?
the green metal ones.
Yeah. Well, no, even just I mean, even wood ones will be sitting there for a long time too. They'll be rotted up.
Are
pretty
they
good.
at the registered deeds too?
They might be. It depends. It might be with your deed too. It depends. Sometimes it is, sometimes not. But yeah, those are kind of your options, ladies and gentlemen. That's what I did. And then the final one, Don, is get a surveyor, right?
Get a surveyor.
Get a survey. And like Eric
Get his surveyor.
had a terrible experience, right? He had a terrible experience. It's possible, guys. They're contract like anybody else that you don't know what's going to happen if you get them or not, right? So
So when
How much are they?
for me, it was I think $450.
So if you go on bigger properties, it could be $1,000, $2,000. So when the mortgage companies stopped requiring a survey, a lot of those surveyors had
Got
to
out of
find
business.
something else to do
Right, 'cause there wasn't enough.
There wasn't enough business out there. So now there's and a lot of surveyors are older, so they're not doing it or they're retiring or
Yep.
whatever the case may be. There's not as many as there used to be, except this guy found somebody that
Making it happen.
had nothing to do the
Nothing
next
to do that
day.
day. Yeah, he was making it. He's like,
I was just wondering what I was going to do
tomorrow.
tomorrow. I'll be there.
Yeah.
Whether the lines are cracked, might be crooked. Or
Might be a little
something.
crooked. He might have had late night. You don't know. It was like, I just trying to figure this out. All right. So the very best part of the show, Don. What is it? Do you know?
Oh, what realtors want
What
to see.
realtors see?
Oh, what
What
realtors
realtors
see,
see.
that's
Now
it.
it's a little different. My grandpa had 25,000 acres done in the 70s where he got in a fight with the neighbor. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, boy.
That's what happens too. Like
Yeah.
some people, like I see neighbors like they'll use your property for like flowers and stuff like that. Like I had one in Southgate. This is this is 5-6 years ago. That they're like, hey, you got to take all your crap off my grass because that's it changes, right? So definitely draw the line. Know where to draw the line at right now.
So think about that: 25,000 acres, and they still get an argument with the neighbor.
Yeah.
That's a lot of property.
It is.
But it
I agree.
happens.
I
It
agree
happens.
100%. I agree 100%. So the contestants today for what realtors see are going to be a lot of fun. There will definitely be a surprise Don Lawrence picture too, guaranteed that will happen. There is the final one's the funniest one, ladies and gentlemen. So if you haven't played What Realtors See yet, what you do is you caption the picture. We give you about a minute, and the best of our three judges, Mel, myself, and Don, get chances to win millions of dollars on a scratch-off ticket sent to you directly from us. All right, so you may win millions tonight. You may win millions, and also, Don, they make me laugh. These people are so funny. They have such a good sense of humor. So let's go with the first one.
I sent you a couple too.
I saw 'em. Funny stuff. All right. So Don, there is number one. Let's see if I can make us even smaller. No, that's the best. That's about the best we can do. Let's do it that way. All right. So I saw this in a house. Tell us if you had to caption that right there. If you had to caption that,
Are we captioning the
whatever you see.
What's the stuff on the wall? Wallpaper.
I mean, it's a whole bunch of stuff.
Or
So what
skull,
realtors
or the
see?
skull,
What is your caption?
the ram,
Caption it, caption
the
it,
ram
caption it.
skull.
What if you had to caption that picture right there? What would you caption it as? Go ahead. You got 1 minute. What realtors see? Let's see what we come up with, ladies and gentlemen.
But at least they painted the vent the same color.
It was different.
That's
It
a
was
good
definitely
point.
different.
Yeah.
I went with a client. Yeah, it was actually, this was yesterday. I went with a client yesterday to see this, and they're like, okay. Does a house come with a witch doctor? Very nice, Tracy. Very nice. Very nice. Does a house come with a witch doctor? What else you got? What else you got? What realtor see?
Is there a goat
Contestant
to
number one.
sacrifice?
That's right. Who's bringing the goat, right? The whole thing, it's screaming goats. That'd be awesome. It's screaming goats. That'd be fun. Ram King's throne. I like it. I like it late.
Bless you.
What do you got? What do you got? What do you got? What realtor see? The throne of the ram. The throne of the ram. Does the house come with a witch doctor? What else you got? What realtor see, ladies and gentlemen? In about 30 more seconds. What
And you
realtor
know
see?
that wallpaper is in.
It is.
It is.
That wallpaper like that?
Yes.
Yeah, 3D wallpaper too. That's that's
Mhm.
another new thing that's coming back. Or that's making a move. What realtor see, guys? What would you caption this picture? What would you caption this picture? What realtor see? Contestant number one. I'll give you about 10 more seconds. About 10 more seconds.
I don't think people can. They can't come up with something anyway because it's
That's
so
it's
unusual.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
The scared chair. that's the
There
scared
you
chair.
go. There you go.
You have now come to
That
the
might be
scared chair.
that might be that's the best one so far.
Uh-oh.
Voodoo
Bruce and
corner.
Nancy Wales, Voodoo Corner. You've now come to Voodoo Corner. All right. Don, Mel, and I are going to confer. We're going to do a little conferring here. Which one do you guys think this one?
Nobody puts the ram in the corner.
Nobody puts the ram. Oh, that's a little dirty dancing reference there, boy. What do you guys think? Adult timeout. This one. I always feel somebody needs to watch this one. So their son. That's pretty good. What do you think? Do 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 do.
What do you think?
Do 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 do.
That one.
Okay.
Dun, 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 dun. And the winner is Steve Christ. Nobody puts the ram in the corner. A little dirty dancing reference. Very nice, very nice, very nice, very nice. Steve, you could be worth, I think we said you could be worth millions of dollars. Number two. Another interesting picture from that same, maybe that same showing, actually. This one I saw at the front door. How about that? Caption it, ladies and gentlemen. Caption it. What realtor see? Caption that picture.
It's a nice looking piece of wood
It is.
furniture, you know, but
It is a nice piece of furniture.
it needs books on it or something.
I
think it needs
just-
books. I don't
listen,
know what the heck.
Listen,
you know?
like that. Just walk in. Think about the doors
It
right there. You
does.
walk in and you see that.
Yeah.
You walk in and you see that right there. What realtors see, ladies and gentlemen? What realtors see? What do you think? What do you think? What do you think? Caption that picture, please.
Where's the hidden hole? 6 feet under.
What do you think? What do you think? What do you think? What realtors see? Caption that picture. Vampire Diaries,
Ooh.
sure.
That kind of goes with the book thing too. Book
does.
thing on it.
Mommy doesn't live here anymore. Mommy doesn't live here anymore. How about
Mummy box?
dance time out? Nice. Halloween all year long.
Place to put Satan's Bible.
Oh, wow. Place to put Satan's Bible. Shelly, you're right. I would have got the hell out of there. Absolutely. Look at that thing. Oh, yeah. 30 more seconds. What realtors see? What realtors see? And I'll tell you what, it doesn't cease to, like, I probably take pictures in every other house I show now because there's just so many weird things, like discussing things or cool, interesting things. Cool, interesting things I keep and put in a file for myself and go, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do this because people are so interesting, you know? Yikes. How much shall yes, Trace, it was scary stuff. Scary stuff. Got 10 more seconds. 10 more seconds. What realtors see? What are you guys thinking? Place of the Walking Dead DVDs.
That's good.
Thank you. I like this one. That one there. See it?
Yeah, I'm good with. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Who is that?
I think that person that's trying to impersonate me, I think that's Chris Bergeron. Mommy doesn't live here anymore is the winner for number two. Number two. Mommy doesn't live here anymore. I think that's Chris Bergeron trying to impersonate me. She is a very integral part of the Bergeron team, though, so we'll let it slide today. So, Chris Bergeron, you could be worth a ticket worth millions and retire from working with your son. I'm telling you. That slave driver of a guy that he is. All right. We have one more, Don. One more, and it's a personal, it's one very near and dear to your heart.
Mine?
Very near and dear to your heart, Don. Yes, it is. Let's see if I can find it. Oh, hold on.
It's gone. All right.
No.
Time to go.
Time
to go.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Hang on, ladies and gentlemen. We'll find it. There it is. There's that bad boy right there. We found it, ladies and gentlemen. What realtor see? Saw that on the golf course. Notice the balls he's playing with. Notice, I'll leave it with that. Notice the balls he's playing. That's the Golfzilla directly behind him that I was working for Mimi's Missions Golf Outing this weekend. What realtor see? What
Yes,
realtor
thanks,
see?
sir.
Huh? So caption that picture if you would, please.
That was a fun part of it. golf outing.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It's a lot
One
of
of on our team. What somebody got it up there? Who was it? Eric.
Yeah.
Eric got it up there. Yeah.
They did.
Eric Sloan. Eric Sloan.
The legend of Eric Sloan, the new Tiger Woods. There it goes.
Oh,
Now we're
hey.
getting somewhere. Hey. What else? What else, guys? Caption that picture. Celebrity Don Lawrence. You got a lot of a lot of balls, Don. Looks like Golfzilla is patting him on the head. I like that too. As soon as I took that picture, I go, I know exactly what I'm using this for. Caption that picture. What realtors see, guys? So far, we've got the new Tiger Woods. You got a lot of balls, Don. Looks like Golfzilla is patting him on the back. You should have seen last week.
I like
There was one of a table that was like built around a pole, like a metal pole in the basement. Stripper, everything. Everything was stripper. Everything they said. And everything was Golfzilla stalking you, Don. Uh-oh. What do you think, ladies and gentlemen? What do you think? What do you think? What do you think? What realtors see? This is what I saw Saturday or Sunday. Don Lawrence right there. Again, notice the color of the balls he's playing with, ladies and gentlemen. Just a little hint from the fans. Got 30 seconds, 30 seconds, 30 seconds.
You were picked out because of my jacket.
Yes, they were. It's exactly what it was. No, it wasn't, because I gave you those on purpose. It was absolutely
You
not
did.
what it was.
You did.
All right, you got 10 seconds, ladies and gentlemen. 10 seconds. Big ass dinosaur coming for you. There's nothing for me to think about. That's okay, Shell. All the kids are in bed. All the kids are in bed now. It's okay.
She
You
knows
can
what's going on.
cute legs, Don. There you go. Oh man. So I'm thinking this right here.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I'm thinking. All right. So the winner of the final, what realtor see? Looks like Golfzilla's patting him on the head from my good friend Tracy in the house. Blue balls of wood in your hand. That a voice, Steve. That's what I was waiting for to happen. All right. So
Steve,
Don,
that was good. That was a good one, Steve.
while you're here, we added back a segment that you and I both love called Stories from the Road. Do you have any stories from the road for us?
I don't today. I didn't even think of that. I didn't remember that.
I have a great one. Okay. So I go to Allen Park, a listing of mine, a gentleman, young man that wrestled for me and his wife, to meet the city inspector. Always meet the city inspector. So I made him out there, and he's doing his thing, and he's going, "That looks pretty good." They had gotten the list beforehand. They made sure all the stuff that was on the city list, what they look for, is all taken care of. Walking around, and he goes, "Let me check the plugs." Goes over to a 2-prong, hits this thing, and it won't show grounded. He goes, "Yeah, a lot of these houses are older. They don't have grounds, stuff like that." Okay. So he's checking the plugs upstairs. Same thing is, "Yeah, it's still the same thing up here. No, they're not grounded, right?" So he starts going to GFIs. They can't get him to trip with the thing. He's going, "Yeah, I don't know who did this electrical work, but you might have to have him back out and do some stuff." So he goes out to the garage where this young man's dad works with in electrical and that, and works, I think, for Edison's, if I recall. Okay. Goes out in the garage, and the guy just put these in this week, the weekend before. Goes out there and goes, "Yeah, man, no, these aren't good either." So I'm sitting there, and he leaves, and I'm going,
Everything shut off.
I says, no, I go, "Hey, go to the store and get a $10 tester, or check, what do you call it? Ground
check.
test. Yeah, get that and just check them. And if they trip for you and they work, send me a video. Every damn plug in that place worked. Every one of them.
Yeah.
He calls me back and sends me a video. So I call that guy. I go, "Look, I'm just going to try to save you some embarrassment and make sure you don't have to do a lot of extra work, buddy. But your tester's probably bad." He goes, "Yeah, it wouldn't happen overnight, I don't think, right?" And I said, "No, I don't think so." He goes, "I'll test the plug in our office. I know it's grounded." Okay. Test it. He calls back, "Yep, you're right. I just told the boss to order about 10 more testers for us."
Oh my God.
I was like, "Come on." That guy, and that was yesterday. So
Yeah.
that could have been Monday. That guy could have hit 10 people for everything in your house ain't grounded. Everything.
Oh, no.
Think about that for a minute. And I'm not going to say names because I'm not doing that kind of stuff, but just every single place he went to wasn't grounded for the day before. You know what I mean? So, or however long. Because that's a lot of work you're talking about, electrical stuff.
So as a realtor, you should have one.
Well, yeah, whatever. I'm
Have
like,
one like
I was just scratching my head going, every single plug in his house, every single one didn't work.
It makes sense.
Right. So, and nobody else thought of that. That was great.
So, and the thing is that inspectors are human; they make mistakes.
Yeah, they do. I do. But it was just interesting to me. So
you got to check things out.
guys, as always, come over to Talkin Real Estate the Facebook group. Don and I will do a little Q&A about what he's been up to and stuff like that. Serious footage that you don't want to miss because I'm going to ask Don the hard questions, and he's definitely come up with some great answers. But I only got 5 more minutes before he has to hit the road, so I only got 5 minutes of questioning. All right? I'm Scott,
I'm Don.
I'm Mel.
and we're talking real estate. See ya.